Can you do your spiel again?
Oh, okay. All right, sorry, we're gonna redo that.
Johnny, wait.
Hey.
Sorry. Can you stop the yeah, thank you.
Okay, welcome everybody. We're gonna get the board meeting started. First, we have to play a short video and then we'll call the meeting to order. All right, go ahead, play the video.
Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. When the meeting begins momentarily, the chair will take a roll call, explain any specific rules for this particular board, and then move to public comment. The name of the board member will appear on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. For instance, this is board member Y, and this is board member E. Public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. You can indicate that you are ready to testify by clicking on the Raise Hand button being circled by the mouse on your screen now. At the appropriate time, the board will recognize you to speak and ask you to unmute your mic as shown here. Again, public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. Public attendees will not be able to unmute their microphone until recognized by the board. Public attendees who are recognized to testify will be asked to identify themselves by name and their affiliated organization if applicable. Please mute your microphone when you are finished speaking as a courtesy to others and members of the board. Public attendees will not be able to unmute themselves after the testimony is completed unless recognized again after raising their hand. At some point during the meeting, the board may choose to move into executive session. When the board moves into executive session, the board members' microphones and video feeds will be turned off, and a similar screen as you see now will be displayed. When the board returns from executive session, their microphones will be turned on as well as their video cameras. Welcome again to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. At this time, the chair will call the meeting to order and take a roll call, as well as explain any additional rules that may be specific to this board.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, thanks again. Before we call the roll, I have to read something really quick for everybody. Okay, to view the meeting and provide live oral testimony, please use the link at the top of the agenda. You will be asked to enter your name. You'll be asked to enter your name. The board requests that you enter your full name, but you may use a pseudonym or other identifier if you wish to remain anonymous. You will also be asked for an email address. You may fill in this field with any email or any entry in an email format. Your microphone will be automatically muted. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may click the raise hand button found on your Zoom screen to indicate that you wish to testify about the agenda item. The chairperson will individually enable each testifier to unmute their microphone. When recognized, the chairperson, when recognized by the chairperson, please unmute your microphone before speaking and mute your microphone after you finish speaking. Okay, phone access. If you cannot get internet access, you may get audio-only access by calling the phone number listed at the top of the agenda. Upon dialing the number, you will be prompted to enter the meeting ID, which is also listed at the top of the agenda. After entering the meeting ID, you will be asked to either enter your panelist number or wait to be admitted into the meeting. You will not have a panelist number, so please wait until you are admitted into the meeting. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may indicate you want to testify by entering star and then 9 on the phone's keypad. After entering star and then 9, a voice prompt will let you know that the host of the meeting has been notified. When recognized by the chairperson, you may unmute yourself by pressing star and then 6 on your phone. A voice prompt will let you know that you are unmuted. Once you are finished speaking, please enter star and then 6 again to mute yourself. For both internet and phone access, when testifying, you will be asked to identify yourself and the organization, if any, that you represent. Each testifier will be limited to 5 minutes of testimony per agenda item. If connection to the meeting is lost for more than 30 minutes, the meeting will be continued on a specified date and time. This information will be provided on the board's website. Instructions to attend the State of Hawaii virtual board meeting may be found online. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna call roll. Okay, when you answer, if you're online, make sure you say present and alone, okay? Dr. Choi,
Present and alone.
Dr. Chong,
Present and alone.
Dr. Fujimoto,
Present alone.
myself, okay, Kathy Fukushima. She was having trouble yet, or
She's muted.
she's muted.
She's muted.
No, she's on.
Speak now. Kathy? I don't know if she's here.
She's frozen.
Present and alone.
Okay, good. Dr. Lau,
Present.
I've been having problems, like keeps flicking off and on. Sorry.
okay, Joy?
Present.
Present. Dr. Seo didn't show up, right? Okay, that's okay. Joy Shimada,
Present.
okay, and Dr. Yamamoto, was he able to show up?
No, so
I remember.
Dr.
Okay,
Yamamoto, Dr. Sue, excuse.
yeah, excuse. Okay, seeing that we have a quorum, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Time is 10:08. Okay. All right, let's move on to item 2, approval of executive and open session minutes of the March 11th, 2024 board meeting. So everyone, please take out your minutes and please review those. If anyone sees any corrections, please let us know. And at this time, I'm going to open it up to any public testimony. If anyone has any comments about the open session minutes.
Thank you, Chair. This is Johnny. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay. So we can close that. Well, I'm not going to close it, but for the board members, if you could review those, anything, anyone see anything that needs to be adjusted? Let's talk about the open session minutes first. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. I need a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Yeah, I need a second.
Second.
Okay, Joy, a second. All nays, recusals, or abstentions from the vote? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay, and there's no nays, so motion carries. Okay, let's move on to the executive session minutes. Does anyone have any question, comments? I know we can't open up to.
Nope.
Okay, seeing none, I need a motion to approve the minutes.
Jonathan Lau, I make a motion to approve the minutes, executive session.
Okay, second,
Joyce, second.
Joyce, second. Okay, any nays, recusals, or abstentions? Seeing none, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
motion carries. Let's move on to item 3, some announcements for us here. It's always a pleasure for me to, recognize some of our board members that have been on the board for a term. And unfortunately, we're losing 2 of our board members that have been with us and have been have participated with everything that we've done. So I would like to thank Dr. Choi and Dr. Chong for serving on the board. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but they're showing a certificate that you'll get from the board. But we really, really appreciate all the work that you've done for the board. I mean, this is a job, I always like to tell people it's a thankless job that we have to do. And thank you for stepping up and participating in this. And everything that you've done has helped this board, and you're serving the public very well. So again, I really appreciate everything that you've done for this board. I'd like to open up to the 2 of you if you'd like to say something. Not to put you on the spot, but this is your time to shine. If you'd like to say the rest of the board. Remember, you can always get called back.
Dr. Chong said he's thinking about it.
Oh,
Okay,
Yeah.
Joy, too.
But yeah, it's been a pleasure working with everyone and meeting everyone. It was interesting to see the process of everything. So yeah, but maybe later when I have time, I can come back. So
You're always welcome to come back, either one of you. We really appreciate all the stuff that you've done for this board. So again, you're welcome to come back. Just, we could always use your help again. Experience is key. That's what we always need. You sure you don't have any other comments? But again, you'll be getting something from the board since you're not here. I'm sure you'll mail that out to
We'll be
them.
mailing those certificates, and thank you guys again.
Okay. All right, let's move on to item 4, new business. We have a presentation. Do you want to make any comment for the vaccines and dental offices by Dr. Saul Brotman, Vice President of the National Council, Vice President for National Clinical Operations of Life and Specialty Ventures. Okay, I'll turn it over to you.
So I believe we're bringing Dr. Brotman on virtually, but while he's getting connected, just for the board's information, this is just a for your information presentation on things going on nationwide. No action needed, but just for your information.
Thank you very much. Can you all hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can. The floor is yours.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Mr. Chair, and thank you all board members for your service. My name is Saul Brotman. Although the chair has introduced one name of our company, you all know us as HMSA Dental, and been asked to talk about how vaccinations in dental offices can work and how they're being done in another state, specifically Oregon. And I apologize, let me move my camera there. I recognize that your job is a thankless one. I served as a member and then chair of the Florida Board of Dentistry about 25 years ago. And again, thank everybody for their service. So if we can bring up my slides, or would you prefer that I bring them? Okay.
Yep, so we have them, and Mark, the board secretary, will be advancing the slides for you. So just give him a cue whenever you would like to go forward.
Thank you very much. And let's go to slide 2, please. And what happened, as you all know, is that many states allow dentists to perform vaccinations during COVID, and currently 7 states allow vaccinations. 5 are limited. 2, Oregon and Indiana, allow multiple vaccinations. Oregon and I believe it's Minnesota are the 2 states that actually have full rules in place from the Department of Health by virtue of state statutes. And so we work with the team in Oregon to have dentists provide vaccinations. There's been a significant issue that immunization rates in Oregon have decreased in recent years, especially in the 65+ population. And so our Blue Cross partner in Oregon has asked us to help them. Dentists can obtain certification. Many of them already have this certification. Let's talk about what we're doing from this point forward. Next slide, please. And by the way, if you have any questions, please stop me at any time. So dentists who are currently in practice can take webinars, the 5-hour webinar to be certified or permitted to do COVID-19, flu, and HPV vaccines. 10-hour webinar to provide all sorts of vaccines to patients of all ages. We have, again, this pre-recorded webinar through the Oregon Dental School, which is you see below OHSU. It's the Oregon Health and Science University in Portland. And then there's hands-on training both at the dental school, and then the school can certify off-site trainers in remote locations. We're in the process as we go ahead and get more people certified and permitted in Oregon. We're finding trainers in 3 additional remote locations other than in Portland. And once people go through the training, they then sign up with the state register, the immunization registry, where once they're signed up, once they perform vaccinations for patients, they can then put the vaccination information in the state registry. So it's pretty straightforward. And then next slide, please. Senior dental students can take a vaccination module during their senior year elective, and then sign up for the Alert 2S training, again, which is their immunization information registry. And then they can do that even in the 6 weeks before their licensure is granted, so that they can become permitted. The Cambia Health Foundation, Cambia Health is the holding company. Sorry to throw all these different names at you. They're the holding company for Regents Blue Cross, and currently working with the dental school to provide stipends for Oregon licensed dentists to undergo training in the permit process. Before this past year's flu season, there were 20 dentists in Oregon who were regularly providing flu vaccines for patients. When the medical directors from Oregon Blue Cross came to us, they asked us to create a program to educate more dentists, and within a week, the program was live, and more dentists became aware of the possibility of performing vaccinations, not only for their patients of record, but for other individuals if they were interested. Next slide, please. So an Indian Health Service survey found that 73% of individuals preferred vaccinations as part of their regularly scheduled dental visits than going to a separate appointment in other healthcare settings to receive their vaccinations. 9% of Americans have a dental visit but no medical visit in any given year. And then focus groups that we conducted along with the Santa Fe group, which is the leading dental think tank in the world, found that recent dental graduates within the past 15 years are more likely to want to perform additional healthcare screenings and vaccinations of their patients and for their patients. And then when we asked these questions, both of frequent and infrequent dental patients, there was overwhelming support for additional healthcare screenings in dental offices and appropriate referrals. So the medical dental integration process is one that that patients are looking for, and dentists also are looking for, especially dentists who have been trained within the last 15 years. And that's it. Next slide, please. Any questions for us? Something like this would take a change in Hawaii law. We would be happy to help you all with this. There are multiple ways to approach this process by using political capital of the board and the Department of Health, if you all are interested in doing this, and also by working with our partners as well, because we see this as an important component of medical dental integration.
I have a quick question. Has there been any, this is Chair Guevara, just a quick question. Has there been any input from the dentists from Hawaii if they're interested in this type of program?
At the beginning of the pandemic, we approached the Hawaii State Dental Association, and at that time, they showed limited interest and asked that we come back to them in future years, which we have not yet.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. This is Sheena, Executive Officer. So I know, as you mentioned, it would require legislative action if Hawaii were to adopt something in this realm. For the states that have adopted some form of this medical dental integration, as it was going through their state legislatures, was there any opposition? Could you talk a little bit about how that was addressed?
There was very little opposition. We're in the process of doing the same thing in Arkansas and Utah. And when we get to this point, it's been pretty easy, because we go to them and say, look, you've allowed pharmacists to do this. Pharmacists aren't trained to provide injections dentists do blind injections every day. We can find the deltoid muscle pretty easily.
Okay, thank you. And then also, and one other question, in these states, I know you mentioned in Oregon, it started with 20 dentists. Do you have numbers for the other, for administering the flu vaccine? Do you have numbers for any of the other states? And, just as it's being developed, how many practitioners are signing onto this?
We do not. The other states that currently allow this, we do not work with those states. And again, the 20 dentists who are providing the vaccinations in Oregon, that was based on the number of dentists who had billed Blue Cross of Oregon within the past year.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome.
Okay, this is Chair Guevara again. Are there any other board members that have any questions? This is the chair again. I have one more question. Is there any issue with liability for this? I mean, this is something outside of dentistry with just liability issues that may come up because, we have to carry liability insurance for just about everything we do and probably have some alteration in what we actually do. So has that come up?
Yes, sir. I am still a practicing dentist 1 day a week. Been doing this for 44 years. And once the board approves this, or I should say, once the state legislature approves this and the board writes rules, then it becomes part of your standard med-mal policy.
Thank you. Okay, again, this is Chair Guevara. Is there anybody else that has any questions? Should I open up to the public questions too?
Oh, if there's any public comment.
Yeah, is there any public comments or questions about what we're talking about here? Is there anyone?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, thank you very much. We really appreciate the information and I'm sure, we'll see how this goes, but thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Brock.
Thank you, and please don't hesitate to contact me again if you have any other questions or interest.
Thank you. And the board, all the board members have your contact information and a copy of your slides and the handouts that you had provided as well.
Mahalo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, let's move on to. Okay, let's move on to 5 applications. We have a ratification list here, and I'm going to go down the list and just read off the numbers. We'll start with the dentist and move on to the hygienist and also community service dentist. Okay, first off, 5A1 approved dentist. The numbers are from DT 3156 to DT 3163. Are there any public comments for the dentists?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, how about from the board? Any comments from the board? Okay, seeing no comments from the board, I need a motion to approve the ratification list for the dentist.
Do them all at once.
Oh, I can do them all at once. Yeah, that's true. We can do it all at once. So let's move on to A2, approved dental hygienist from DH 2466 to DH 2469. Any public comments for the hygienist?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
All right. Seeing none, let's move on to the board. Any board comments for the hygienist? Okay, seeing none, let's move on to A3, approved community service dentist. It's CSDT 113 and CSDT 114. Any public comments?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, any board comments? Okay, seeing no comments, then seeing no comments from the board, I need a motion to approve the ratification list for the approved dentist, the approved dental hygienist, and the approved community service dentist. I need a motion. Okay.
Jonathan Lau.
Johnson Lau.
I make a motion to approve all of those people.
Okay, I need a second to approve the list. Anyone?
Or second, Joy.
Okay, Joy. Okay. Any nays, recusals, or abstentions? Okay, all in favor, raise your hands and say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so moved. All right. At this point, we're gonna move on with the applications. Okay, at this point, I think we're gonna make a motion to move into executive session in accordance with HRS 92-4 and 92-5 A1 and 4. To consider and evaluate personal information relating to individuals applying for professional and vocational licenses cited in section 26-9 or both. And to consult with the board's attorney on questions and issues pertaining to the board's powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities. Okay, I need a motion to go into, I'll make the motion to go into executive session. I need a second.
I second it.
Okay, Dr. Lau, second.
I'll second it.
Any nay? Oh, okay. Any nays, recusals, or abstentions? Seeing none, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Okay, all in favor. So we're gonna move into executive session. So give us a few moments to move into executive session. Everyone, I think you're gonna have to move over to the team. If they didn't show up, we were like,
Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, where did Joy go?
Just stepped out.
Oh, okay. So once we get Joy or Dr. Fujimoto, we can begin.
I just wait for his face to pop up when we can.
You want to just or those on Zoom, just test audio while we wait?
Yeah, can everyone hear us okay? Everyone raise your hand if you can hear us okay. Can Kathy see? Okay, she raised her hand. Waiting for Dr. Fujimoto to come back.
And Joy.
And Joy to come back into the room. Okay, there's staff. Can you hear us okay? Can you raise your hand if you can hear us? Okay, good. We just have to wait for Joy to come back.
We can actually get started since we have quorum.
Okay. We have to take a vote on it.
Yes, so
Okay,
any public comments?
yeah, any public comments on the licensure for Dr. Miller, Dr. Abraham Miller? We've got yours, good, okay. I can make a motion. Okay, I'm gonna make a motion. We are just gonna defer this for one more session because we need to get more information from the Arizona board, but we will be making a decision at the next board meeting. Okay, I need a second for that motion.
Jonathan Lau, I second.
Okay, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and can I speak to him real quick about, or I'll let you.
Yeah, I'll provide communication after the board meeting on what the deferral is.
Okay, if it was like it's the last deferral, just.
It's
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. So it's not been denied, deferring for more information, and we'll specify in our correspondence. The next board meeting is July 15, I believe. I'll confirm with you.
And we will have a decision for you then.
And you're welcome to stay or leave as you wish.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna turn this over to. We're gonna move on now to section 6, executive officer report.
Oh, the door gotta be open.
Thank you, Joy. Okay, so I'll talk very quickly. So first 6 legislation. So the 2024 legislative session is officially done. Yay! I provided you with a flow chart of a bill's journey, just so for your reference for future years, from the start to the finish, what happens. And that's from the Hawaii Legislative Reference Bureau. But there were 3 bills that I was either tracking or testifying on the board's behalf. So the first, HB 1777, relating to dental hygienists. The description is authorizes dental hygienists who are under the general supervision of a licensed dentist to perform preventative dental sealant screenings and apply dental sealants on certain individuals in a school-based oral health program. So just a reminder, I wanted to support this bill at your January meeting. And since I last reported to you, the bill did cross over to the Senate, but it wasn't heard, so it died. But it also had a similar bill, which is this next one, SB 2476, HD 2C1. Basically the same description. Again, you voted to support this bill at your January meeting, and that's what's included in your packet, because since I last reported to you, the bill crossed over to the House, it passed its final reading, and it's now with the governor. So unless the governor chooses to veto the bill, it will become law sometime in the summer, and I'll keep you updated when it has an effective signature. But I provided you with the conference draft 1 language, which is what's before the governor. And if you remember, this is the one the Hawaii Oral Health Coalition came before the board several times to present. This was to allow dental hygienists in certain community health settings to apply dental sealants and do screening. The last one, HB 2744 HD1, relating to oral health. This one I was just tracking for the board. It was to establish an oral health task force. Since I last reported to you, the bill did cross over to the Senate, but it wasn't heard by one of the committees, and so it did die. So that one bill did pass, it made it. I'll keep you updated when it's official, but that is the summary of the 2024 legislative session. Okay. And then the last item 6, web notice posted regarding the use of lead aprons. So you might be aware the American Dental Association that we issued announcement on February 1st, 2024, that the use of lead abdominal aprons or thyroid collars on patients when conducting dental x-rays is no longer recommended. So that was from the ADA a couple months ago. We did post a web notice on the board's website in response, just reminding all Hawaii licensees that the ADA guidance does not change our HAR, HRFs. And we do have 2 sections in our statutes, HRS 448-1.5, and then in our rules, HAR 16-79-7, and both require the use of lead aprons during x-rays or radiographic procedures. So we put those 2 citations on the web notice, and we did see that HDA pushed it out to all of their members, reminding them of the rules. So just for your FYI. And that is all.
Then let's go on to 7, next meeting, Monday, July 15th, 2024. 10 o'clock here, and it'll be the same type of meeting that we're having now. Any other questions? Okay, should I make a note that we're voting on a new? Okay, all right. So make a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn. No motion needed.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you, everybody.